Hey everybody, back with another video with the Proverb series. Today is Proverbs 23, and we're reading in the New King James Version. So, starting at verse 1, when you sit down to eat with a ruler, consider carefully what is before you. Verse 2, and put a knife to your throat if you are a man given to appetite. Verse 3, do not desire his delicacies, wind, for they are deceptive food. So what this means is, everybody has these desires and appetites in their life, and some are good and some are bad. But you can't let them have control over your life. Just because you have a desire to do something, say it's a temptation. It's a temptation to do something that you don't want to do as a Christian, and it looks appetizing. It's a desire. It's not wrong to get those, but we need to learn to control those urges and say no to them. We need to have the power to say no when we feel urged to do something, to feel tempted. And the best way to do that is to go to the Lord, to fall so deeply in love with the Lord and His Word that this is more attractive than anything else in your life. And verse 4, do not overwork to be rich because of your own understanding. Cease. Verse 5, will you set your eyes on which for that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away like an eagle toward heaven. Verse 6, do not eat the bread of a miser, which is a greedy person, nor desire his delicacies. Verse 7, for as he thinks in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, he says to you, but his heart is not with you. Verse 8, the morsel you have eaten, you will vomit up and waste your pleasant words. So don't envy a man who is greedy and evil in his ways, that, he has all these good things, but it's because he's so greedy in his life that he gets it in this evil way. Don't envy that. Don't desire what he desires. Verse 9, do not speak in the hearing of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of your words. Some people, no matter what you say, no matter what wisdom and truth you say, they will not accept it, and they will just, it says they'll despise your words. It's, they need almost, they need God really to see the truth. Sometimes you can't talk to a person without them despising your words, especially if they're a foolish person. So you just have to accept that at times. Verse 10, do not remove the ancient landmark, nor enter the fields of the fatherless. Verse 11, for their Redeemer is mighty. He will plead their cause against you. Verse 12, apply your heart to instruction and your ears to words of knowledge. So listen to this instruction. Let your heart desire it and apply it. Verse 13, do not withhold correction from a child, for if you beat him with a rod, he will not die. Verse 14, you shall beat him with a rod and deliver his soul from hell. This is talking about disciplining your children. See, it may not literally be saying beat him with a rod, but, when I was younger, I got whooped when I did something wrong. I wasn't severely hurt. I wasn't, you know, abused. I was just disciplined. They disciplined me, and through that, getting a butt whooping. Some people don't believe in that nowadays, but it taught me that that's wrong. And you shouldn't do that, and there's consequences to your actions. So what it's saying is, if you beat him with a rod, he will not die. It's not going to ruin his life. It's not going to end his life. It's going to discipline him and bring him up better. And parents these days, they do this gentle parenting, and it doesn't work. You need to have some discipline in your kid's life, a lot of discipline in your kid's life, and it'll deliver his soul from hell. It will put him on the path of godliness, and he'll look to God and think on what is right. Verse 15, my son, if your heart is wise, my heart will rejoice. Indeed, I myself. Verse 16, yes, my most inmost being will rejoice when your lips speak right things. So watch what you say. Speak the right things in your life. Don't just talk and talk. You need to think about what you say and how that affects people. Verse 17, do not let your heart envy sinners, but be zealous for the fear of the Lord all the day. Verse 18, for surely there is a hereafter, and your hope will not be cut off. So, there's sinners out there that they got everything they need in this life, but truly they have nothing. See, if you don't have the Lord in your life, then you don't have anything valuable. If you have the Lord, then you have all you need. And we need to tell ourselves that every day. So don't be jealous of these people who have all these earthly things, all these treasures, and fame, popularity, whatever it might be. Don't envy that, because know in your heart you have the Lord. They don't have Him like you do, and obviously we want them to have the Lord like you do. But don't envy what they have. You have the Lord, and it's the fear of the Lord that is so important. It says your hope will not be cut off. Hold on to that hope that Christ has promised us in eternal life with Him. He has promised that to us. Hold on to that hope, because that hope is not going to disappear. Verse 19, hear, my son, and be wise, and guide your heart in the way. Verse 20, do not mix with wine bibbers or gluttonous eaters of meat. Verse 21, for the drunkard and the glutton will come to poverty, and drowsiness will clothe a man with rags. This is speaking of overindulgence. So, see, eating is not a sin. Drinking alcohol is not even a sin. But indulging in it so much that it causes drowsiness will clothe a man with rags. It will bring you to poverty. It will bring you down. So when you eat, don't overeat or eat because you're bored, Just eat until you are satisfied, and make sure you leave enough for others. That's really what gluttony is. If you're overeating and you're not leaving enough for others, just eat what satisfies you and move on. And then for people who drink too much, you know, that you don't need to drink every day. Some people, they have this need in their life to drink, and it's dangerous, but it's not wrong to drink. Save it for after the work's been done in your life, after you've gotten everything done. If you want to have a drink, do it in low moderation, so you will not be drowsy and it will not bring you down or make you a fool. Verse 22, listen to your father who begot you, and do not despise your mother when she is old. Verse 23, buy the truth and do not sell it, also wisdom and instruction and understanding. So once you grasp this truth and once you understand it, don't give it away for anything. Hold on to it. Verse 24, the father of the righteous will greatly rejoice, and he who begets a wise child will delight in him. Verse 25, let your father and your mother be glad, and let her who bore you rejoice. Make your parents proud, in a sense. Not a bad proud where it's prideful, but you know, be a good, obedient child, and you know, just be upright, and be something that your parents can be proud of. Verse 26, my son, give me your heart, and let your eyes observe my ways. Verse 27, for a harlot is a deep pit, and a seductress is a narrow well. Verse 28, she also lies in waits as for a victim, and increases the unfaithful among men. See, lust and all that stuff, adultery. It's a deep pit, and it's dangerous for a man or a woman. It will bring you so far down, and it hurts your soul. So look to God for help and look to Him. It says sexual immorality. You got to flee from it. You can't fight that one. You got to flee from it. You got to run away from it. Don't even entertain the idea of it. You just need to run away from it. Run to God. Run to this. Read His Word. When you get the urge, run to this Word and read. Just read or pray. Anything. Verse 29, who has woe? Who has sorrow? Who has contentions? Who has complaints? Who has wounds without cause? Who has redness of eyes? Verse 30, those who linger long at the wine, those who go in search of mixed wine. Verse 31, do not look on the wine when it is red, when it sparkles in the cup, when it swirls around smoothly. Verse 32, at the last it bites like a serpent and stings like a viper. Verse 33, your eyes will see strange things, and your heart will utter perverse things. Verse 34, yes, you will be like one who lies down in the midst of the sea, or like one who lies at the top of the mast, saying, They have struck me, but I was not hurt. They have beaten me, but I did not feel it. When shall I awake that I may seek another drink? This is also explaining the dangers of, alcohol. And again, if you drink too much, it will make you into a foolish person that you're almost not even you. You turn into this something else that's not, and you speak perverse things. You speak, things you would never say out loud to people. And so don't let that alcohol control you. Don't let anything control you. Don't have anything be an idol in your life. In general, idol having an idol in your life can be so dangerous. It could be your phone. It could be alcohol. It could be food. It could be even working out. It could be something good for you. If you care more about working out than God, then that could cause, you know, your spirit to cease. It could cause it to put working out or something else ahead of God, and that's dangerous. Even if working out's a good thing, it's good for your body. Your body's a temple, but if you put something like that above God, it becomes an idol. It becomes dangerous. So, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you tomorrow for Proverbs chapter 24.